Everyone, I hope we are doing well. Now, to the big question. Can we reverse aging? Aging. And can you live longer than the normal lifespan? I don't know how many of you have watched this movie, Benjamin Button, when he was giving birth to probably an older man, and then he grew from that oldness, should I say that older version, through to when he became a baby, and then he died. So he died as a baby. I think the story is just like Benjamin Button. So can we live longer? Can we do something about aging? Okay, can we do something about aging? Imagine you living 900 years again as it used to be. Imagine, just imagine what you can accomplish. Okay, so that is what a group of scientists at the Harvard School has been able to do, accomplish that in a mouse. So it may be possible in humans, may be possible, but there are a lot of clinical research that has to be done into it to look at how feasible it is. But from the data that this group of scientists has been able to gather, it was possible in a mouse. How much more humans? I'm your host, Andrews the Right, and you are welcome again to my channel, Andrews the Right. Please, if you have not subscribed, kindly do well to just click the button below and subscribe to get the latest research information. I'm your host, Andrews the Right. Now let's go on to this particular interesting research. In a Boston lab, old blind mice has regained their eyesight, have been able to be, due to the research, develop smarter, and then having younger brains and build heavier muscle and kidney tissue. On the flip side, young mice have prematurely aged with devastating results to nearly every tissue in their body. The experiments show aging is a reversible process capable of being driven forwards and backwards at will. Wow, said an anti-aging expert, that is David Sinclair, who is a professor of genetics at the Blavatnik Institute of Harvard Medical School and the coordinator of the Paul F. Glenn Center for Biology of Anti-Aging Research. Okay, our bodies hold up a backup copy. I didn't know this, but our body hold up a backup copy of our youth that can be triggered to regenerate. Okay, to regenerate. The combined experiment published for the first time on Thursday, just last week Thursday, in the journal Cell, challenged the scientific belief that aging is as a result of genetic mutation that undermine our DNA, creating a junkyard of challenged cellular tissue that lead to the deterioration of disease and health. So that was what we were thinking as scientists. Okay, that as a result of certain genetic mutations, okay, that undermines various instructions of our DNA, okay, thereby creating a junkyard of cellular tissues, okay, damaged cellular tissues, okay, which eventually leads to its deterioration. Okay, we thought that was a process, the process of aging, and it is not reversible. But this particular data, this particular research, which was done at the Harvard Medical School, proved otherwise. So in science, that begs the question, in science, everything is possible. Everything is possible. Everything is possible. It is not junk. Okay? It is not damage that causes us to get old. We believe that a loss of information, a loss in the cell's ability to read the original DNA, so it forgets how it functions. Okay, that was the concept that Professor Sinclair and his team actually had. Okay, that it is not, they believe that a loss in the cell's ability to read the original DNA, okay, as a result, it forgets to function. In as much as, in a way, an old computer, okay, an old computer may develop corrupted software. Okay, he calls it the information theory of what? Aging. The information theory of aging. The information theory of aging. Now, there was another research fellow, that is J. Hyun-Wan. J. Hyun-Wan. Forgive me if I don't mention the name well, J, if you are watching this. Now, who is a genetic research fellow in Sinclair's lab, okay, who co-authored the paper, said that he expects the findings will transform the way we view, okay, the process of aging, okay, the way we approach the treatment of diseases associated with aging. Okay, so he expects that we treat the way we think the process of aging as the way we associated other diseases which causes aging. Okay, that was his expectation. Now, while DNA can be viewed as the body's hardware, okay, the epigenome is the software. When we say the epigenomes or the epigens, okay, the epigens are proteins, okay, as you can see, and chemicals that sit like a freckles on each gene, okay, waiting to tell the gene what to do, where to do, and when to do it. I want to say praise the Lord. Another molecular biology. Okay, so epigens. Okay, or epigenomics. Okay, so they think that epigens. So what is epigens? As I explained before. Okay, they are just proteins. Okay, or chemicals which sit on genes, and whilst the gene waits for maybe further instructions from the epigens as to what to do, where to do it, and when to start doing or executing that particular instructions. So the DNA is viewed as the hardware, and the software is the epigens. The software is the epigens. Okay, so the epigenome, okay, the epigenome literally turns genes on and off. Okay, the process can be triggered by pollution, environmental toxins, and human behaviors, okay, such as smoking, eating an inflammatory diet, or suffering a chronic lack of sleep. Okay, so these factors are some factors which actually turns genes on and off. Okay, that is why it's very important to take good care of yourself. Okay, as a human, if you want to live longer, it's very important to take good care of yourself. Okay, now, and just like a computer, the cellular process, okay, becomes more corrupted as more DNA is broken or damaged. The cell panics, and proteins that normally would control the genes get distracted by having to go in and repair the DNA. Then they don't at all find their way back to where they started. So over time, it's like the ping pong ball that we normally play, okay, where the balls end up all over the floor. Okay, so that is what happens. In other words, the cellular pieces loses their way home, much like a person with the Alzheimer's disease. The astonishing finding is that there is a backup copy of the software in the body that you can actually reset. So they showed why the software gets corrupted and how they can reboot the system by tapping into the reset switch. Okay, that restores the cell's ability. Okay, restores the cell's ability to read the genome correctly again, as if it was young. Okay, so that was that. This is the summary of the research that Sinclair and his team actually did. Okay, it says it doesn't matter if the body is 50 or 75 years old, healthy or wrecked with diseases. Once that process, the switch has been switched on, or once that process has been triggered, the body will then remember how to regenerate, okay, and will be younger again, even if you are already old or having an illness. Now, what that software is, they don't know. But at this point, from the research data that they have gotten, they just know that they can just flip the switch. They can just turn the switch. And that particular aging process, their information of theory, okay, of aging will actually begin. That is science. This is science. And it took them so many years to actually accomplish this. Okay, so the hunt for the switch, okay, began when Sinclair was actually a graduate student, a part of a team at Massachusetts Institute of MIT, okay, that discovered the existence of genes to control aging in yeast. Okay, in yeast. That gene exists in all creatures. Okay, so there should be a way to do same in people. Okay, there should be a way to do same in people. To test that theory, they begin to fast forward aging in mice without causing any mutation or cancer. Okay, they started making the mouse when he was 39 years old. Okay, and now he is 53, and they have been studying the mouse ever since. Okay, so the theory of information of aging was wrong. Then they would have to get either a dead mouse or a normal mouse or an aging mouse or a mouse that had cancer. Okay, but they got aging. So now, with the help of other scientists, okay, Sinclair and his Harvard team were able to age tissues in the brain, the eyes, the muscles, the skin, and then the kidneys of mice. Okay, to do this, Sinclair's team developed an ICE, okay, short for inducible changes to the epigenome. Okay, instead of altering the coding sections of mice DNA that trigger the mutations. Okay, ICE alters the way DNA is folded. Okay, the temporary fast healing cut made by ICE mimic the daily damage from chemicals, sunlight, and their like that contribute to aging. ICE mice at 1 year look and acted twice their age. Okay, so they developed an ICE short for inducible changes in epigenome. That was what the team, Sinclair and his team, actually developed. Okay, so they did that instead of actually altering the DNA or sections of the DNA in the mice, which actually trigger such mutations. Okay, wow. Which actually trigger such mutations. Okay, now it was time. So after they've done that, it was now time for them to reverse the process. So they created a mixture of 3 or 4 Yamanaka factors. Okay, these are human adult skin cells that has been reprogrammed to behave like an embryonic or pluripotent stem cells capable of developing into any cell in the body. Okay, the cocktail was then injected into the damaged retinal ganglion cells at the back of the eyes of the blind mice. Okay, and switch on by feeding the mice with antibodies. Okay, normally they are only on in very young developing embryos. Okay, and then turn off as we age. Okay, turn off as we age. The mice regain most of their sunlight. Next, the team then tackled the brain, the muscle, and the kidney cells. and restores those to much younger levels according to the study. One of their breakthroughs was to realize that if you use this particular set of 3 pluripotent stem cells, the mice don't go back to age 0, okay, which will cause cancer or worse. Sinclair said, instead, the cells go back between 50 to 75% of the original age. And they stop and they don't get any younger, okay, which is lucky. How the cells know how to do that? They don't know the answer yet, okay? They don't know the answer yet. Today, Sinclair's team is trying to find a way to deliver the genetic switch, okay, evenly to each cells, thus rejuvenating the entire mouse at once. Praise the Lord. Delivering is a technique header, okay, but other groups seems to have been able to done it, okay. So Sinclair said they are pointing to 2 unpublished studies that appear to have overcome that particular problem. So imagine you going for that shot just to stay young a little bit. One uses of the same system they developed was to treat a very old mice, the equivalent of an 80-year-old human, okay, and they still got the mice to live younger, which is remarkable, okay. So they have kind of beaten us to the punch in that particular experiment. But that says to me that rejuvenating is not just affecting a few organs, okay? It is able to rejuvenate the whole mouse because they are living younger. The results are a gift and confirmation of what the actual paper is saying. Now, billions of dollars are being poured into anti-aging, okay, funding all sorts of methods that turns back the clock, okay. In his lab, Sinclair said his team has reset the cells in mice multiple times, showing that aging can be reversed more than once. And he is currently testing the genetic reset in primates. But decades could pass before any anti-aging clinical trials in humans begin, get analyzed, and if safe and successful, scaled up to mass needed for federal approval. I wish I am alive to see this particular day, this particular research, anti-aging treatment. Oh. But just as damaging factors can disrupt the epigenome, healthy behaviors can also repair it. We know this probably true because people who have lived a healthy life have less biological age than those who have done the opposite. Okay? Than those who have done the opposite. So right now, his thought is focus on plants for food, eat less often, get sufficient sleep, lose your breath for 10 minutes 3 times a week by exercising to maintain your muscle mass. Don't sweat, and don't sweat the small stuff, and have a good social group. The message is that every day counts. How you live your life, even when you are in your teens and 20s, really matters, even decades later, because every day your clock is ticking. I love this research. I love this research. Anti-aging drug. Imagine you are given an anti-aging drug to take to stop your age for some time, to live younger, to reset your system. This is science. This is science. Someone will say bath. This is science. Oh, Sinclair and his team are doing marvelous. Kudos to them, and we need more of such research. But then I hope to see the day where the clinical research or a clinical investigative study will be started in humans, okay, using an anti-aging drug. I'm your host, Andrews the Right. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for spending these few minutes with me. See you again next week. Thank you. Have a blessed day.